the U.S. government telling you how much sugar you should and shouldn't eat.
No. I read a study that the best mortality was among 6-year-olds, and very few 6-year-olds died, and so I decided to study their eating habits, and look what it's done.
Okay, so from eating sugar to some serious issues that are on Americans' minds right now. Minimum wage. You own Dairy Queen. I would imagine some of the employees there get paid minimum wage. How do you feel about raising the minimum wage? A lot of states are now moving to do that.
I don't have any great objection to moving it. Certainly, I think the minimum wage is too little to live on for most families, where the main breadwinner is earning that, not one of the kids or something. I think it's far more effective in terms of reducing poverty to increase the earned income tax credit and to rearrange it in some manner. The earned income tax credit rewards work, basically, and you have to work to get it. But it does put real money in people's pocket, and it does not distort supply and demand for labor. And anytime you fool around with price fixing in the market system, you can't only do one thing in economics. And if you raise the minimum wage substantially, I think a lot of people would not have jobs. Whereas through the earned income tax credit, you can accomplish the same thing and yet keep the jobs and reward work.
That dovetails to immigration, because perhaps a lot of immigrants are working for a minimum wage. The country has split on this. There are a lot of ideas, no real solutions. What should our immigration policy look like from where you sit?
I think people should be able to earn citizenship that are here. I do not think we should deport millions and millions and millions of people. So I think we should have a real path to citizenship.
So when you hear that Senator Ted Cruz might want to roll back the Dreamers Act, which enables children of illegal immigrants who are here in this country to stay, you as a businessman, how do you view something like that?
Well, it isn't a question of being a businessman. It's a question of being a human being. Your immigrants came, your forefathers came here as immigrants, mine did, and they got here any way they could, and who knows what I would have done, if I were in some terrible situation in the country and wanted to come to the United States. They're here, many, a great percentage of them are good citizens, and I would have a path to citizenship for them. I certainly will not ship them back.
Speaking of terrible situations, let's go global. There are hot spots of terror that are popping up everywhere. This ISIS situation is disconcerting. And with Iran, there's a double-edged sword. The president would like to have an Iran nuclear deal. But at the same time, Iranian ships are taking shots at commercial vessels in the Persian Gulf. Should we be talking to the Iranians?
Well, we should be talking to them. What we should do with them is another question, but we should be willing to talk with anybody. But this is a very, very dangerous world, and it'll be more dangerous if the Iranians have nuclear weapons. I mean, the goal is to keep them from having nuclear weapons or have them on the cusp of nuclear weapons so that they could have those weapons in a matter of a month or two. And you have people that feel that no treaty will accomplish that, and you have other people that feel that a treaty will help deter the Iranians from having nuclear weapons. And I don't know all the details of it, but I do know the goal has to be to keep the Iranians from having nuclear weapons.
Well, yes, you own an Israeli company. The Iranians have said they want to wipe Israel off the face of the earth.
Yeah, well, we got to make sure that they don't.
Do you worry about ISIS and issues like that coming to our home turf?
Well, I worry about the whole problem of cyber, nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons, and I worry about the fact there are a lot of psychotics in this world and sociopaths and religious fanatics, and a lot of them wish harm on the United States, and they've already got the motivation from their standpoint, and they need the knowledge, the material, and the deliverability of really potent weapons. And there are people around the world today as we talk who are trying to figure out ways to inflict massive damage on the United States. And so homeland security is an enormous, important issue. That problem won't go away. It'll require vigilance now, a year from now, 10 years from now, 100 years from now.